it's like a secret nobody knows about, because nobody I know has ever heard of this place.
This is the Curley School in Ajo, Arizona, a town of about 3,300 residents 120 miles west of Tucson in the middle of the Sonoran Desert. The school was originally built in 1919 as part of the City Beautiful movement when Ajo was a booming mining community, but the town and school have gone through many changes since then. The New Cornelia open-pit copper mine closed in the 80s, people moved out of town, unemployment and people living under the poverty line went up, and eventually the school and several other beautiful historic buildings went vacant.
There were also other personal issues for me as far as a tribal member was concerned and being concerned about the Sonoran Desert.
Lorraine Marquez Eiler grew up just outside of Ajo. In the 90s, she helped found the International Sonoran Desert Alliance, or ISDA. In the beginning, their goals were all about the environment post-mining.
We decided to solve the problems of the world, as the story goes. And so we talked about saving the Sonoran Desert.
What we found is as we met with communities again and again and again, the top priorities of that community were not environmental in nature, but were housing, economic opportunity, jobs. We realized to be really sustainable in environmental impacts, you've got to address the people living in the environment. Seems obvious, but it was really an aha moment for us.
Our goals, we're looking at economic development, revitalization of an area, protection of an area, education. Ajo always said to us, save the Curley School, save all these huge buildings that were just laying there.
Through a patchwork of grants, foundation support, and individual donations, ISDA was able to raise $9.6 million to purchase and renovate the Curley School, and in 2007 it reopened as 30 affordable live-work apartments. The next year it was listed on the National Register of Historic Places.
Everyone who moves in does qualify as quote-unquote low income. We don't believe in aggregating poverty per se, so we said, well, why don't we aggregate it around something else to not say everyone who lives here is low income, but everyone who lives here is an artist or artisan.
All I've heard is how, it's low income housing and that's all those people went there for. They're not really artists. But right now we've got a huge amount of artists, and there have been a huge amount of artists that have come through here.
Ajo has some interesting opportunities if you're receptive to it.
Karen Saharsky and Mike Henricks live on the Curley School campus. They came here specifically because of the clay studio, but they also paint, sculpt, make bread, garden, collage, sew, write poetry, and make music.
I still make a living as a ceramic artist, but I do everything else.
I'd already found it before all these other storms hit. Mom died, and they're raising their rent in a lousy neighborhood.
Army veteran Arnold Alexander moved here from L.A. To him, Ajo is quiet and relaxed, which is a welcome change of pace. Behind his apartment, he makes Tibetan-style paper from recycled materials. Eventually, it turns into postcards and other goods he sells at artists' markets.
I put it in Photoshop and take everything off the photograph except the butterfly, and just leave the butterfly on there and transfer the butterfly to my paper.
The best way to describe my style is kind of like movie music. It's very cinematic and very moody.
Bobby Narcho moved here from the Tohono O'odham Reservation about an hour away. He spends a lot of time working on his music, photography, and video projects.
I wanted to try something different. It was kind of just home all the time on the reservation. I thought to myself, why not get out of the reservation and live on my own? Ever since then, it's been 4 years here, and it's been very cool.
I was able to move out here, and I thought, I'm not looking for a job. I have a modest pension that supports me.
Zee Galliano has always wanted to work on her jewelry full-time. Her apartment at the Curley School, which she loves, has helped make that happen.
I want to really explore. This place gives me the freedom to do that. I had no idea any of this existed, and the more I researched, the more incredible it. Everything they've done here, the plaza, this school.
The Curley School is basically an urban revitalization effort in a rural area. The project garnered several awards and recognition across the Southwest. With the success, ISDA has been able to expand and save more historic buildings.
We rolled a developer fee from that project into purchasing the rest of the campus, which is now a whole host of things, but primarily the Sonoran Desert Inn and Conference Center.
This conference center was designed to bring in large groups and retreats to the area. It started carrying these javelina pillows designed and handmade by Karen Saharsky, and they're a success story for the organization.
The conference center opening was huge. I made 600 of them last year, and I make them by hand. Saved all of my javelina money, put it in a separate account so I can keep track of it, and we went to Paris in March.
After the conference center, ISDA was also involved in preserving the historic town center. Each year, on September 22nd, the organization hosts an International Day of Peace.
I think it's probably the most illustrative event of our organization and our mission and our focus.
This event brings kids from 3 nations together and hints at the potential of this town and this region.
Every year it's the same. It's just totally fun.
I'm amazed at the progress. It's been a long struggle. Art and culture knows no boundaries with people.